Hello guys, I know you're probably wondering, why is this hardcore video 236 days? That's kind of a random number, honestly. Well, that's because I'm ending hardcore. And you might be wondering why. Well, hardcore's always been fun. The making of it has just been, it's been outstandingly fun. But there's always one part that's kind of bothered me, editing. I don't really enjoy hardcore editing. Other editing like X-Life has been a lot more fun. And when I don't enjoy the editing, the video just doesn't really turn out that great. So this will be the last hardcore video from me. But it will be a good one. It'll be a compilation of every single day I've ever played on my hardcore world. So I hope you guys will enjoy it, and let's roll right into things. Hello guys, welcome to Hardcore Minecraft. Sorry there's a little bit laggy because I don't know. Yeah, I think that's just because I opened it in New World, it's still generating chunks and all that. So anyway, let's get right into this hardcore world. Also, I'm wearing skin. I'm wearing this skin because, this was the first skin I ever made. So anyway, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first of all, I went to get wood. And then I mined some stone. So next, I mined some iron on the surface and got some gear, as you can see by my inventory. And then I hid in a wall from some mobs that I found in a cave. Then I basically just sat in a wall and AFK'd until morning. When morning came, I basically just decided to row along the river. Now the river actually managed to take me to this village, as you can see. So I basically just looted the village and headed on my travel. After leaving the village, I managed to find a lava pool, but for whatever reason I left it behind. But not before I grabbed a bucket of it, and also smelted up some extra iron that I had laying around. After smelting up the iron, I actually decided to make myself some full iron armor and tools, so yeah. Then I headed off on my boat to find a place to build my starter base. However, I got distracted by this cave and just had to go mining in it, so a little detour. But it was lucky I did, because I actually managed to find some diamonds, yay! After traveling across many biomes, I found the Savannah village and decided to call it my home. Okay, so I decided to move all my chests and stuff into this one little house because I didn't want to be outside, so that time I was just sort of for nothing. Okay guys, so I think it's time for me to end off the episode. I've been recording for quite a long time, We've managed to get a lot done in this hardcore. We managed to get all this stuff that's in the chests in here. We managed to get geared up with iron, and we managed to find this village and the other spruce village that we'll probably never go back to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this hardcore episode, and I will see you down in the comment section, and in the next one, peace. Hello guys, welcome back to Hardcore Minecraft. This is episode 2, and today we have a lot planned in a short amount of time, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get right in. I want to accomplish 3 things today. First of all, I want to get full diamond armor and tools. Second of all, I want to build a villager trading hall, and third of all, I want to build an iron farm. So anyway, let's get right into the first thing, getting full diamond. Start off by doing a mining time lapse. After surfacing the mine, I basically shoved all my ores in the furnace and smelted them up. Then I mined all the hay bales in the village. Next, I dug the canals for the sugarcane farm. Then, I filled in the water. Then, I planted the actual sugarcane. After that, I dug a ton of dirt because for the wheat farm, I was actually going to build a huge platform over the water to easily hydrate the crops. I know I didn't say anything about building a wheat farm, but now we are to accomplish the other projects. So we're going to build a platform over the water, as you can see here, to hydrate the crops. Okay, now I'm just outlining it in deep slate. Now it's time to start on the villager trading hall and iron farm projects. So, I grabbed villagers from the village, and I mined out the area where the villager trading hall would be. Now it's chores time. I'm going to start off by getting sheep for the sheep farm for beds. Next, we're going to fill in the wheat farm platform with dirt. After that, we're going to surround the wheat farm with fences. Then, we're going to get wheat and seeds for fill in the wheat farm from the villager farms. Then, we're going to fill in the sugarcane farm. Finally, we're going to fill in the wheat farm. The next thing I did was make an auto composter, just so I could compost all the extra seeds I got. Then I gave the sheep a proper home. Now it's time to actually use the wool from the sheep farm to fill the villager trading hall with bed. I also went ahead and chucked bread at them so they would breed, and then I left. Then I kept shearing sheep so I could continue filling the villager trading hall with bed. Now it's time to go actually mine for diamonds. So I crafted a diamond pick with the diamonds I had and went down to the mines. Now, luckily for me, I actually managed to find some lava, so I turned it into obsidian and started the slow process of mining it for the enchantment table I would need later. After putting all my goodies away from mining, I decided to place down a bucket of lava to act as a disposal system. To mine the obsidian, I could finally make the enchanter. And also build a nether portal. After crafting some bookshelves, I could finally make my enchanter a level 30. Then I decided to give my villagers their jobs. The thing I did was go down to the villagers and reset a bunch of trades. I got a librarian to sell me fortune 2, and I got 2 farmers buying wheat and selling bread. Then I turned my entire stack of hay bales from the village into wheat and sold it to the farmer to see if I can get enough emeralds to buy the fortune book. Then I decided to head to the nether to see if I could get level 30 for mining quartz. And after mining a little bit of quartz, I managed to do just that. 30 levels, let's go! Then after getting home, I decided to take a gamble with the enchantment table, and I won. Except for the fact that I didn't get fortune 3, but we won't worry about that now. Then I went and mined for more quartz so I could do another level 30 inch. Then I made a big tower of quartz and began mining it down. Then I made a big mistake as I decided to enchant my pickaxe again, and I got Silk Touch Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 again. But I couldn't add my fortune book to the pickaxes, and so I had to go mining for more diamonds to make another pickaxe to enchant with fortune to combine with one of the Silk Touch ones. After mining, I was finally able to put fortune on one of my pickaxes. Then I made a stack of diamonds and I mined them all down with my newly acquired fortune. And then I was finally able to accomplish one of my goals. getting full diamond armor. Next thing I did was harvest the wheat farm. Then I replanted it. Then I went to the nether to mine more quartz, where I nearly died a few times. Then I decided to try a new method of mining, where I actually managed to find quite a few diamonds. After surfacing the mine, I realized that I would need to build a new house, because I had no room for stuff like redstone in my storage any longer. I also realized that I didn't have enough time to do the other things I wanted to do in this video, so I decided to just end off the episode by building a house. I started with the frame, which would be polished deep slate and stripped birch logs. Oh, and I forgot about tuff. After finishing the house while terraforming, I actually managed to find a mob spawner. I lied about finishing the house. I still had to do the floor, which would be deep slate tiles and smooth cut sandstone. And then this happened. Oh my gosh! Don't even ask. Oh my gosh. I just nearly had a heart attack. I could have, if I had not had full diamond, I probably would have lost it all there. Now, granted, I did have a water bucket, but still. After that scare, I moved everything in my old house over to my new house. You know what? I think I'm going to end off this episode. I know I have not finished this house, nor have I finished the iron farm or villager trading hall, but I don't want the episode to be too long, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you did enjoy this video, then consider subscribing because it's free and you can always change it right later. And I will see you down in the comment section and in the next one. Bye! Hello guys, welcome back to another hardcore episode. Today we're going to need to get a lot of things done, so let's roll right into things. So we're going to start off by doing some enchanting. And it looks like we're going to be enchanting the axe first. Pretty good enchantments. I guess efficiency 4 is okay for chopping wood and stuff. Looks like it's time to make a grindstone. Back to enchanting. And those are some pretty good boots, not gonna lie. But I think I need some more XP, which means quartz mining time. Now I think we're finished mining quartz, but because I mined it with a silk touch pick, now it's time to make a tower and mine it down, because that's just how I like to do things here. Time to mine it down. Since I know at an efficiency 4 axe, I decided now was a good time to stack up on tons of wood since I was kinda low. After chopping down tons of trees, I then decided to do some chores, like harvesting sugar. Then I decided to turn the sugarcane into paper so that I could trade it to some villagers. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem. These villagers, there's just too many of them in this little confined area. So I think it's time to rebuild a villager trading hall. Okay, quick break to do more enchanting. Okay, so I think I'm going to save the villager trading hall project for later. But now we're going to go bed bombing for netherite. However, while bed bombing, I started burning, and that's when the bad things happened. Unfortunately, I had touched fire again, which should have meant certain death, but somehow I managed to survive, and I have no idea how. After that very near-death experience, I decided to get out of there so I would not die. After leaving the nether and getting myself some food, like any normal person, I went right back in, to the place where I nearly died. Very smart of me. So, after a little bit of work, it was finally time to leave the nether. Finally! Okay, thank goodness. I'm finally back at my house. And we managed to get 8 ancient debris, which is decent. Not the best, but it's decent. Time to make some netherite. And I think I'm gonna make my sword netherite, since it's probably the best thing I have, honestly. And I'm thinking my silk-touch pickaxe is gonna be what I'm gonna use the second netherite ingot on. I think it's time to do some more enchanting. Those are some pretty good legs. But I think we need more XP, which means quartz mining again. Now that I'm back to 30 levels, it's time to do some more enchanting. Looks like it's our helmet this time. Okay, so I think I've done enough stalling. I think it's time to build the villager trading hall. Now it's time for the worst part, getting the villagers in. Finally, I only have one villager left. Hold up just a moment. My friend is over 80 subscribers ahead of me, and we're racing to 500. So, if you do enjoy this video, then please consider subscribing, because it helps out just so much. Anyway, back to the video. So now that I've gotten all the villagers in their respected areas, now we need to get the guys out that I don't want in here. Now I think it's time to give them all jobs. Now that we've added beds and some other finer touches, I think it's time that we say the villager trading hall is officially complete. And after that, I just decided to do some chores that needed to be done, like harvesting the wheat farm and the sugar. Then I decided to do something that had been bothering me for a while, adding the strip of birch logs to my house. So I just went ahead and did that. And after doing the chores, I went out looking for leather, and I managed to find not one, but 2 villager captains, like right near each other, or patrols, whatever you call them. And after capturing the pillager captains in boats, I just went around looking for cows, because I needed leather so I could make another lectern. And then I went right back to work on villagers, and I managed to get mending on the first reset. So lucky. But just then I realized I needed a new way of getting XP, so I decided to make a zombie farm. And after a little bit of work, the zombie farm was finally complete, so I decided to start grinding. And although it wasn't the most efficient farm, I managed to get enough XP to enchant my chestplate, which means I now have fully enchanted diamond armor. And since the farm was finally complete, I just decided to do some grinding. And after a few AFK sessions, I decided I would just make a diamond hoe, since why not? And since I now had tons of XP, I just decided to enchant my shovel and my hoe. And then, I just decided to go mining. And as you can see by my inventory, I actually managed to find some pretty good stuff. And then, I bought 2 mending books. And after that, I decided to combine an axe I just enchanted to my old axe, so I could get a pretty good axe. And then I added mending to my Fortune 3 pickaxe and my shovel. And then I decided to start on my next project, building a raid farm. So I got a villager, I got him in a boat. Now it's time to bring him over to start the raid farm. So for the raid farm, I'm just gonna need to dig out a really big hole. And then just dig out this little smaller hole that'll be the chute that the villagers will fall down into. And I will be down there killing them. And then I'm just gonna dig out a little room to just give myself some space next to the kill chamber. And then I'm just gonna make a way for me to easily be able to get out and in. Then, once that was finished, I started building the area that the villager would be in. And after finishing some things up, I decided to go to the battle. Now it's time to start the farm. Unfortunately, yeah, as you can see, it did not work. Now we're gonna have to fight a raid. And things may seem easy right now, but let me tell you later, it gets a lot more intense. Unfortunately, midway through the battle, my helmet popped, meaning I was going to start taking a lot more damage. So, I went back to my house and made sure to repair my other armor so it wouldn't start breaking. After a hard-fought fight, the raid was finally won. Meaning, it's now time to go into our final project of the video, the Iron Farm. And if you're wondering, I got 5 teams, which is pretty good. So, let's just say, the Iron Farm was probably one of the most painful projects I've ever done in Minecraft. It took me 3 whole hours to build the entire thing. And I actually started to get it working, and I went away for 5 seconds to go get some hoppers, and then it stopped. And also, I had to go through multiple designs. But anyway, now it's done. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you down in the comments, and in the next one. Peace. I don't really have much I want to accomplish these last 20 days, but the first thing we need to do is buy this mending book from this villager. And then we can use it to put it on our pickaxe. Oh, and also add Fortune 2 to our other pickaxe to make it Fortune 3. And since these pickaxes were both low and both had mending, I decided to AFK the zombie farm and then kill zombies to repair them. And then I decided to do something that just needed to be done, and that was building the roof. And with this last block placed, the roof is complete. And then I just decided to stack up all wood. And after that, I decided to go to the nether to mine wood, because I realized I probably needed some XP. And then I decided to do some chores, like harvesting a sugarcane farm and farming the wheat farm. And then I decided to make one of the villagers in my villager breeder a cleric, so that I could sell all the rotten flesh I was getting from the zombie farm for emeralds. And then I bought some mending books to put on my armor. And then I went to the nether and found a bastion. And I decided to risk all my stuff that I had in my entire world to try and get some more loot. Of course, I was careful the whole time and managed to get some pretty good loot, and didn't even come close to death. And after I got out of the nether, I went looking for cows for leather so I could make more lecterns. And then I reset a certain villager's trade to try and get some good books. And then I decided to destroy one of the houses in the village. And now that I'm out of bed, I have officially survived 100 days in Minecraft hardcore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then remember again to smash that subscribe button and also the like button. And I'll see you guys in the comments and in the next one. Peace. But that was only the first 100 days, as we in total survived 236 days. So now that the first 100 days is complete, we can get on to 200 days. Let's get right in. Today, I'm going to be destroying an entire village, building automatic farms, and so much more. So welcome back to Hardcore Minecraft, and let's roll right into things. And we're going to start off by doing some chores, like harvesting sugarcane, saying hello to my villagers, AFKing at the zombie farm, and mining quartz for XP. And the iron farm seemed to be broken again, so I added a big chute so that the iron golems would start dying again. And then I decided to start resetting librarian's trades to hopefully get some good enchantment books. And then I started the absolute massive project and main point of this video, destroying an entire village. So anyway, let's get destroying. But I think this is a little boring, so let's speed things up a little bit. But after a ton of mining, I kind of got tired of destroying the actual village, so I started terraforming the little sand area that's connected to the village, which is actually the place where my house is. But I think the terraforming is complete now, so let's get back to destroying. But you probably don't want to see me mine dirt the whole video, so let's go ultra speed mode. And I know by now you guys do not want to see me mine dirt ever again, but there's a solution since my shovel actually just broke. So we're gonna go on a hunt to get a new one. And the hunt starts in the because we need XP so we can enchant another one. But after a little bit of that, I got bored mining, so I decided to start killing Endermen for Ender Pearls. And then I decided to head on home. And after the XP from the Nether, I finally can enchant my diamond shovel. Oh, I'm breaking 3! Oh, that's so bad. Oh, goodness. And after the terrible enchant, I decided to try and trade with villagers to get more XP to do another level 30 enchant. Alright, here we go again. Efficiency 4, I'm happy with that. Let's get back to digging. And with these few blocks broken, I am finally done destroying this village. So I decided to go blast mining in the Nether, since I was absolutely tired of mining dirt. And while blast mining, this happened. Without that totem, I would have ended up dead. And even though I had the totem, I still don't want that to happen again. But let's just get back to mining. And even after getting out of the mines, as you can see by my inventory, I did not get very lucky, as I didn't get any ancient debris. But now that that little excursion is over, I think we should get back to the second goal of the video, which was to build some automatic farms. So let's get crafting. Now that we have all the materials, let's get building. And after making the place where the sheep would go, I started digging out the collection system. And after finishing the collection system, I had to go get some grass so that the sheep would be able to eat and regenerate the world to make the wool farm work. And after that, all I had to do was get the sheep in the farm, and then it was done. Well, I guess I had to put the shears in, but now it's done. And for the next part of the video, I'm going to have shaders on, just because, I thought they were cool. I also decided to destroy the sugarcane farm, as that was the next farm I was going to make automatic. And after the sugarcane farm was gone, I decided to start collecting resources for the automatic version. And once I had all the resources, I began building. And after the building process was done, I decided to start AFKing. And after I finished AFKing, I decided to start destroying the wheat farm, as that would be the next thing I would turn automatic. But before I would start building the automatic wheat farm, I decided to go to the nether to get some levels so I could do more enchanting. And I used the levels to combine these boots. And at this point, I just decided to put the wheat farm project on hold and head to the nether to do some blast mining with beds. And after getting out of the mines, I had a total of 10 ancient debris. So after smelting it up, the netherite scrap could be turned into netherite ingots. But it was just then that I realized I didn't have any netherite upgrades, so I'd have to head back to the nether to find some. And since I was in the nether now, I decided to just go looking for a bastion. And after a little bit of exploring, I finally managed to find a bastion, and luckily it was a treasure bastion, so I just began looting. And after the bastion was completely looted, I just decided to head home. But before I headed home, I decided to trade with some piglins to hopefully get obsidian so that I wouldn't have to travel all the way back and I could just build a portal back to the other world. And when I finally had enough obsidian, I built a portal and then headed back through. And once I got through, I started the long journey of getting back to my house. However, halfway back, I actually managed to find a cherry blossom biome. So I decided to collect some of the wood there, and then I continued on my way. Once I got home, I decided to add some bamboo to the sugarcane farm. And after that, I headed down to the mines so I could get some diamonds to hopefully be able to duplicate my netherite upgrade. And once I had collected plenty of diamonds, I headed out of there. And since I now had the diamonds, I could finally start duplicating my netherite upgrade. And since I now had plenty of netherite upgrades, I started upgrading some of my armor. And after upgrading a few pieces of my armor, I decided to go looking for a fortress so I could get some blaze rods. And after only a little bit of searching, I already found one. Now that I got into the fortress, I just decided to start collecting blaze rods. I also decided to collect some wither skeleton skulls so I could fight the wither later. And after that, I headed home and built another portal farm. And since I had those wither skulls, I just decided now was the time to fight the wither. And since I'm underground, the fight was pretty easy and I'm not going to bore you with the details, so here's me winning. And since I now had the nether star, I decided to craft a beacon. And since I knew I had nowhere near enough blocks, I just decided to place what I had down and save the rest for later. And after getting the beacon, I decided I wanted more netherite, so I went to the nether to do some bed bombing. And after getting out of the nether with 7 ancient debris, I decided to make a shepherd so I could sell some wool to him. And after that, I decided to start building a melon farm. And I know, I still haven't built a crop farm, but don't worry, it's coming later. And after that, it was back to the nether, because unfortunately, I had apparently used the last netherite upgrade I owned, so I had to get more so I would be able to make the rest of my armor netherite. But after looting another bastion, I had the netherite upgrade, so I decided it was time to finally head home. And I know guys, this episode was all over the place. There wasn't really a main theme to it, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Basically, I planned for 200 days to be one big video. But then I really didn't want to do it as one big video because I felt like it would take too long and I wouldn't be able to post the episode fast enough. So then it really just became a bunch of random stuff and it was going to be trying to find a main theme for an episode. So next episode is probably going to be sort of like that as well, although there was more of a main theme. And I know I didn't finish the crop farm, or I didn't finish half the things that I was I was basically halfway through a ton of things. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you down in the comments and in the next one. Peace. And now that we've made it past the 4th episode, I'm just going to show you guys the last 40 days, all in a little bit of editing. So, let's get into it. And since I was now back at my house after getting the netherite upgrade, I decided to now go to find the stronghold, so I could kill the dragon and hopefully get myself an elytra. And after a little bit of searching, I was finally in the stronghold. And after about another hour of searching, finally managed to find the portal room. And because I didn't have enough ender pearls, I decided to head to the nether by building a stronghold portal in the stronghold so I could get some ender pearls. Once I had enough pearls, I filled in the portal, and now it's time to fight the dragon. And I'm just gonna, well, keep the live footage in there. No voiceovers, no nothing. Just a clean fight. Bam! And the dragon is defeated. Honestly, that was really easy. And since the dragon was now dead, I decided to head through the end gateway to hopefully find myself an elytra. And after a little bit of searching, I had finally found an end city, so I decided to loot it. And luckily for me, this end city did have an end ship, so I was able to get my hands on an elytra. Oh my gosh, the elytra. And luckily for me, right next to the end city I was at, there was another end city, and it also had an end ship, so I decided to go over there and loot that one as well. And after I was done looting, I went back to the end gateway I had marked with a waypoint, and I went through it. Unfortunately, I was all the way back at spawn, so I just put my best foot forward and got flying. But after a ton of long flying, I finally made it back home. And now that I was back home, I decided to enchant some diamond boots. And then I decided to enchant this diamond sword over and over again until I got some good enchants. And after a ton of enchanting and disenchanting, I finally got the sword I wanted. And after that, I decided to take all the stuff I had gotten from the end and sort it all into my chest. And then I decided to start upgrading more of my gear. Unfortunately, I needed to make a few things netherite, but I didn't have enough netherite upgrades, so I went into the mine to get some diamonds so I could duplicate netherite upgrades to make those things netherite. And after I had plenty of diamonds, I headed to the surface and started duplicating netherite upgrades. And then I decided to start upgrading things to netherite. And then I decided to go trade with my villagers to get myself some emerald. And then I decided to play some pig step. And then I decided to upgrade my boots to netherite, meaning I now had full netherite armor. And then I decided to AFK at my iron farm. And then I decided to use the iron to make myself some pistons for the melon farm that I was going to make. And once I had all the materials, I decided to start building. And after a little bit of work, all I needed now was the water and the crops, which was pretty easily sorted. And since the melon farm was now done, I decided to build a place where I would keep my dragon egg. And although I wasn't recording, I did AFK at the iron farm at some point, so I decided to place the iron that I had gotten on my beacon. And then I decided to finally start collecting items for the crop farm. And after a ton of resource collecting, I decided to finally start building. And after I finish with the building process, I do get villagers to actually run the farm. And then, after AFKing at the iron farm for a little bit, I was able to add more blocks to the beacon. And after placing all the blocks down, I realized I was just so close to being done. And it was then that I realized if I filled the middle of the beacon with gold, I would have enough iron to put it on the top, meaning it would be a fully maxed out beacon. And after the final blocks are placed, I can place the beacon on top, meaning I had a fully maxed out beacon. Yay! Unfortunately, after placing all the iron on the beacon, I literally had no blocks of iron left, so I AFK'd the iron farm to restock. And then I decided my next project that I was going to do was to build a mob farm. But unfortunately, I would need so many blocks, so I went to the nether to collect tons of netherrack. And once I was done collecting all the blocks I would need, I collected everything else. But after a ton of resource collecting, I could finally start building. However, halfway through building, I realized that jump boost would be very useful for this project, so I decided to move the beacon over to where I was so that I could easily access it. And honestly, this project took absolutely forever. So once I was done building it, let's just say I was away from my computer for a long time. But not before I lit up all of the bottom so that mobs wouldn't spawn, ruining the rates of the farm. And I also decided to move the beacon back to its original place. But after that, I was gone for a while. And once I got back on, I decided to make myself tons and tons of golden carrots. And with 200 days coming to a close, I just, did some little tweaks and, tidbits here and there. And yeah, that was basically 200 days. I got a lot of stuff done during this 200 days. It was very productive. But now let's move on to the last 36 days. And I decided to start off this last 36 days by collecting a ton of leaves with shears, as the next project I would be doing was building an Enderman farm. And for that I would need tons of leaves. And I think this should be enough leaves. And since I now had all the leaves, I decided to collect the rest of the materials I would need. And once I had all the materials, I headed to the end to start building. And honestly, I don't know how this machine works or any of the mechanics behind it, so I'm just not going to explain it and just get to the time lapse. And once the Enderman farm was done, I decided to start grinding XP. And once I finished my grinding session, I realized I had plenty of XP, but even more, I had plenty of ender pearls. Like, I would never need ender pearls ever again. And now that I'm done with the Enderman farm, I decided to start on a new project. And this project would be a massive wall around my base, protecting it from all the outside threats, like mobs. And I knew this wall was going to take quite a while, so I just got my best foot forward and started building. And I knew this would probably happen quite a few times, but this was the first time. I had to go collect more sandstone because I ran out. But once I had plenty more sandstone, I continued building. And with this final block placed, it's done. Well, actually, it's not done. This is only the sand part of the wall done. But part of my base is also in a forest biome. So instead of using sandstone, I'm going to use oak planks to place in that biome. So, after I collected some wood, I decided to build that part as well. And with this final block placed, the wall is officially complete. And after the wall was complete, I just did some things around my base, like sorting chests, swapping out some of the melons in the melon farm for pumpkins, and messed around at the raid farm. And then I decided to try and reroll villagers' trades to try and get something good. But I was pretty unsuccessful with that, so I decided to buy a Woodland Explorer map so I could go search for a woodland mansion. But before I did that, I decided to add beddig to my elytra. And now that my elytra had bending, I went to repair it at the Enderman farm. And as you can see by the F3 menu, we're on day 213, meaning there's only 23 days remaining in this hardcore world. At least on my YouTube channel anyway, as I'll probably still be playing it a little bit in the background. But it's probably time to get back to work, and that work that I decided to do was flying to a woodland mansion. But first, I had to craft some firework rockets. And I also decided to put some stuff in my shulker boxes. But after that, I finally decided to get flying. But after tons and tons and tons of flying, I had finally found the woodland mansion. And since I had now found it, I decided to just loot it. Guys, honestly, I wanted to deliver this video in one complete full video, but my storage just wouldn't allow it. So, I'm gonna have to split this video into two parts. This is part one, and honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was so fun to make, and I'll see you in part two.